When I first met Ivy Pierce, we were both wide-eyed interns stepping into the glass tower of Maddox and Grant Consulting, a place where ambition hummed louder than the air conditioning. She had that magnetic charm that made people gravitate toward her instantly. Brilliant smile, quick wit, effortless confidence. I was quieter, more deliberate. I preferred my work to speak for me. But in those early months, Ivy and I were inseparable. We'd stay late together, order greasy takeout, and joke about how one day we'd run the place. It felt like friendship, the kind that's rare in a corporate jungle. At least, that's what I thought. Our supervisor, Mr. Caro, had announced that one intern would be promoted to full-time associate by the end of the quarter. It was a single spot, a golden ticket. Ivy and I laughed it off at first, promising it wouldn't come between us. But competition has a way of curdling good intentions. I started noticing subtle shifts, how she'd charm Caro with witty banter while I scrambled to present data, how she'd take credit for joint projects in casual conversation. Still, I told myself it was harmless. She was just being strategic. The project that would decide our fate came 3 months in, a full client rebrand for a high-profile tech startup. The catch? We'd each present our own proposal. The winner would get the associate role. I spent weeks perfecting mine. Late nights, endless revisions, graphs so sharp they could cut glass. Ivy and I still met for coffee, but the warmth was gone. Her compliments felt rehearsed. One night, I came into the office after hours to print a draft and found her at my desk. She jumped when I entered, smiling too quickly. "Hey, I was just borrowing your stapler." My stapler was on the other side of the room. I should have known then, but I didn't confront her. Not yet. I just locked my files and backed everything up on both the server and a cloud drive. The final presentation day came sooner than expected, a Friday morning with the team gathered in the sleek glass conference room, coffee cups steaming, tension thick as fog. Ivy sat beside me, immaculate as always in a crimson blazer, her confidence almost smug. I opened my laptop to review my final slides and froze. The file was gone. Every trace of my presentation, deleted. The folder, the backups on the shared drive, even my notes. Panic gripped me, cold and paralyzing. My heart pounded in my throat. I knew I hadn't made a mistake. Someone had accessed my account. I turned slowly, and Ivy's eyes met mine. She smiled, sweet and sympathetic. "Everything okay?" I excused myself, walking out before my voice could betray me. In the hallway, I gripped my phone like a lifeline. Thank God for the off-site cloud backup I'd set up as a precaution. I quickly downloaded the file, heart racing, as I realized the timestamps in my cloud history showed unauthorized deletions, made from an internal login, one assigned to Ivy. My anger simmered to a razor's edge. When I returned to the room, Caro announced Ivy would go first. She strutted to the front, delivering her pitch like she'd been born on stage. The team nodded, impressed. I watched her with icy calm, each slide a reminder of her polished deceit. When she finished, polite applause followed. Then Caro turned to me. "Your turn, Alara." I walked to the front, connected my laptop, and projected my presentation onto the massive screen. The room fell silent as the first slide glowed to life. My hands no longer trembled. The adrenaline sharpened my focus. I spoke with clarity and precision, weaving data into story, numbers into narrative. Halfway through, I could see their reactions, nodding, leaning forward, captivated. Then came my final slide. I paused, letting the silence hang. "Before I close," I said evenly, "there's something important you should know about this project." I clicked. The next slide appeared. Not data, not graphics, but screenshots. Server logs showing my file deletions timestamped from Ivy's account. Email notifications of unauthorized access. The color drained from her face instantly. "I take confidentiality and integrity very seriously," I said, my voice calm but cutting. "So when my work disappeared hours before this meeting, I decided to investigate." Gasps rippled through the room. Ivy stammered, "There's some mistake." Caro's expression hardened. "Ivy, do you have anything to say for yourself?" She started to speak, but her words tangled in panic. I closed my laptop gently, my presentation complete. The room was silent, except for the faint hum of the projector. The following Monday, an email from HR went out. Alara Sloan promoted to associate. Ivy Pierce's internship terminated effective immediately. I should have felt victorious. In a way, I did. But victory doesn't always feel clean. It's sharp-edged, mixed with disbelief and disappointment. Weeks passed, and the office returned to its rhythm. My new role came with responsibility, recognition, and a better view, literally. My desk now overlooked the skyline, the city pulsing with possibility. But sometimes when I stayed late, I'd catch myself glancing at the empty desk that once belonged to Ivy. For all her betrayal, I couldn't shake the sadness that came with it. We could have built something together. One evening, as I was packing up, my phone buzzed. An email. From Ivy Pierce. Subject, you win. My stomach knotted. Against my better judgment, I opened it. The message was short. You think you beat me, but in this place, no one stays clean forever. Enjoy your throne while it lasts. I deleted it without replying, but her words lingered. Maybe she was right. The corporate world was ruthless, and I'd just proven I could play the game better than most. Yet, as I turned off the office lights that night, I realized something else. Success built on integrity doesn't crumble, it endures. And if protecting that meant standing alone, I was ready. Months later, at a networking event, I overheard two executives discussing Ivy. She'd tried to join another firm, but word of her sabotage had followed her. Reputation travels fast in this industry. It wasn't satisfaction I felt, it was closure. As for me, the promotion opened doors. I became known not just for my work, but for my poise under fire. Clients trusted me, coworkers respected me, and I made one quiet rule for myself: never mistake friendliness for loyalty again. The last time I thought of Ivy was on the day of my first big solo presentation as lead consultant. Standing before a packed room, I felt that same spark I once shared with her, the hunger to prove myself, to rise. But this time, I didn't need anyone to stand beside me. I had built something that was mine, untouchable and hard-earned. When the applause came, I smiled, not because I'd won, but because I'd learned. Betrayal doesn't break you unless you let it, and sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't revenge at all. It's becoming everything they tried to destroy. You've just stepped into her revenge side, where every wound finds its justice, and every silence ends with truth. If her story struck a chord, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these stories alive. Another secret waits in the next video. See how her revenge begins.